Hello, welcome back to Positively Ernest. I'm Gary Takesian, your guide as we delve into the timeless wisdom of Dr. Ernest Holmes, founder of the Science of Mind philosophy. Well, this is part 2 of my series, What is Science of Mind? And in this episode, we'll be looking at what does Science of Mind teach? Now, last time we talked about the origins of science of mind having its roots in the 19th century New Thought movement, which emphasizes the power of the mind and the practice of positive thinking. And as I mentioned before, Ernest Holmes was known as a voracious reader. From his studies of world religions, philosophies, science, and metaphysics, he put his own spin on this teaching that blends elements from many disciplines and yet can stand uniquely on its own. At its essence, Science of Mind is a spiritual tradition that provides various roadmaps to guide us along the journey of how to perfect the use of our individual minds in partnership with the divine or universal mind to co-create and to shape our daily lives for the better. Now, Science of Mind teaches that God or the divine mind is the source of all that exists, and that each of us are a part of the divine intelligence, created in its image and likeness, not in a physical sense, as some traditions teach, but in terms of consciousness and sharing the power of thought. In the words of Dr. Holmes, as you listen to the divine wisdom within you, you will receive your inspiration and guidance. As you speak your word, think your thoughts, or make your affirmations with complete conviction, you will discover that you are using a power that actually is and that actually does respond to you. The spirit within you is God, the infinite source of your intelligence and wisdom and creative power. Dr. Holmes thought of Science of Mind as having two distinct aspects: the divine connection, which he referred to as love, and the more scientific or logical aspect, which he referred to as law. In a sense, you could think of it as a spiritual version of the left-right brain distinction, where the left side is the logical thinking part, and the right side is the imaginative or intuitive side. The left side makes use of the universal law of cause and effect, and the right side is the emotional, intuitive relationship with the divine. The love and the law, as he would say, working together where the result is always greater than the sum of its parts. The law of cause and effect in Science of Mind terms brings up an important concept, that of our minds as the initial cause and the result as the subsequent effect. In fact, Science of Mind considers everything in our physical universe as an effect, that at one time or another originated as a cause in mind. Cause and effect then becomes the very essence of what we call the creative process. We formulate an intention in mind, and through the affirming of our intent and our relationship with the universal mind, it takes the intention and brings about the result, or the effect. Think of the universal mind as that part of the divine that shares a common overlap with our individual consciousness. On another level, consider feelings and emotions. Science of Mind would say that feelings are the cause and emotions are the effect. So the thing to keep in mind is that cause and effect are similar to action and reaction. Our thoughts are the actions or cause, and the effects are the reactions to our thoughts. Now, the law of attraction builds on cause and effect by saying that like attracts like, as in birds of a feather flock together. It takes our current thinking and attracts to us similar thoughts. Have you ever noticed that when you learn a new word you hadn't known before, for the next week or so, it pops up repeatedly like it was there all along, which of course it was. The law of attraction is much like the popular saying that what we think about, we bring about. Dr. Holmes also talks about how much we can expect to receive from our thoughts and desires. He says it amounts to how much we can believe. He wrote, "If we believe a little, we can only receive a little. This is what we call the law of mental equivalence, as much as we can embody. Now, I know that's one of those jargon terms, but let me try and explain. By mental equivalence, what he means is the images that we create and hold in mind as we put forward an intention for something that we desire. He encourages us to make these images as detailed as possible. It is from these images that the universe goes to work to bring about the results that we seek. And Dr. Holmes teaches that we need not constrict what the universe can provide. Now, for some of us, it means letting go of seeing ourselves as possibly unworthy of receiving beyond a certain self-imposed limit. That limit is like how much gas our car's tank can hold, except that in the creative process, there is no upward limit. We limit the capacity, or what we can embody, by making up how much we think we have a right to expect. And the universe will stop to honor that self-imposed limit. So we learn that our abundance has essentially no limit other than what we place on it ourselves. Freeing up our minds of these various self-imposed limits is the conscious work we do in Science of Mind. Now, much of what we study in Science of Mind is also learning to be mindful of the stream of thoughts that continually pass through our consciousness. If you're anything like me, before I came to Science of Mind, I completely identified with my thoughts. In effect, I was my thoughts. It never occurred to me that what constituted my thinking was in any way controllable, let alone directable. I have over the years since learned that while I have thoughts, I don't have to let them have control of me. Now, there's so much more to what Science of Mind can teach than I can effectively cover in a single episode. But here's the takeaways from this episode. 1. We are all part of the one divine mind. 2. We are imbued on an individual level with the same creative essence as the divine on the universal level. 3. Everything in the universe is the result of, or the effect of, universal mind in action. 4. Our thoughts are the causative agents in the creative process. 5. The universal mind takes our thoughts and brings about the results we desire. And 6. We have thoughts, but we must not let our thoughts control us. We always have choice on which thoughts to empower and which to ignore. While this is certainly not exhaustive, this does represent the essence of what you can expect to learn by studying the Science of Mind and putting to use the power of mind that is already available to you. Well, that will do it for this episode of Positively Ernest. As always, please leave any comments or suggestions below. I'd love to hear from you. And join me next time when we will again look at putting Science of Mind to work for you in Part 3 of this series, What is Science of Mind? Thanks for joining us for this episode of Positively Ernest from Vida Spiritual Learning Center. If you found this meaningful, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment, question, or suggestion below. And for more information, you can visit our website at vidaslc.org, where you can also make a tax-deductible contribution to support our free programming. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so you can be notified of future programs. And thanks. We'll see you next time as we are Positively Ernest.